Ubering right now to make some extra money before I leave tomorrow morning, but I'm taking a break so I can film this video. I feel like I'm stuck in a state of freeze, in a state of dissociation. Once my manic episode was done, I felt the change happen in my brain and I was like, fuck. Then I became more aware of how my behaviors were and how my thought patterns were during my manic episode, and I was like, some of these things were a little irrational, a little bit concrete, a little bit extreme, erratic, if you will. The last few days I've just been really trying to recognize and process everything, and I'm recognizing that my perceptions of my friends might be warped as well. It probably is. I feel like it's easier for me to convince myself that my best friends want nothing to do with me, and it sucks leaving something that you know isn't broken, it's just not functional, it's not ideal, it's not healthy. I'm breaking up with someone that I thought I was gonna be with forever, that I thought we were gonna be best friends forever, sisters forever, and I don't know what's gonna happen to my friendships with Riley and Sharia after this. I don't know if they'll understand why I'm doing this. I don't know if they'll understand my intention. I'm just trying to remind myself that I know why I'm doing this. I know my intentions. I know this is what's best for me. I've been learning to love myself, and I love who I am. I love the person I'm becoming. I just can't believe I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm probably gonna leave at like 5 a.m. I'm gonna leave the letter at Sarah's door because I'm not even gonna say bye to her. I feel so much resentment almost because she has put no effort into our friendship, and I know this is gonna be perceived as something that's maybe happening randomly, or something that's out of the blue, or something I should have talked to her about. But how many times can you talk to someone about something when there's no comprehension? I just know that this has to come to an end. I have to be the one to really initiate it, and it's scary because it's the unknown. These types of things are so much easier in a manic episode. Whenever you're in a deluded mindset where you don't care about the consequences of everything, it makes everything so much easier, okay? I came to the realization the other night that I feel so misunderstood that I just want to force everyone to understand me. I want you guys to understand everything I understand. Why can't you see my perspectives? And I just project all of that externally. I could get triggered into a very irritable mood, and then I'm instantly recording TikToks about how angry I am and how stupid and ignorant people are and how people don't care to learn. And it's not that those things aren't true. Not this stupid thing. I'm trying to get stupid out of my vocabulary in general. My parents were kind of onto something as kids. We weren't allowed to say stupid because it is just a mean word. I feel like it doesn't have any efficient meaning to it other than to put someone down, because people aren't stupid, they're just uneducated. But I feel small, I feel misunderstood, so I project that onto everybody else, and I make everybody else feel stupid because I feel stupid. It just makes me so angry because I don't want these flaws. I don't want these behaviors. They don't serve me in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I'm learning the lessons from them, but I just don't want them. I have so much inner work to do. I have so much I have to work on, and it makes me angry because I know I have all the time in the world, but I forget that. It's so easy to forget that in our culture nowadays. The American culture is rush, rush, rush. Get as successful as possible, as fast as possible. You need to do this at this time, and if not, you're falling behind. And that's drilled into us. But there is no rush. What's the rush? You are an eternal, infinite being having a human experience. Anything you don't experience or learn in this lifetime, you can do it in another one. In theory, of course. I just want to learn them all in this one. I want to learn all my lessons. I want to be perfect. I don't want to hurt people. I want to be a monk who's so patient. They don't need to pool understanding. They just understand everything. They hold understanding so well. And I know I'll get there one day. I'm gonna look back at these videos being like, you've come so far, homegirl. But I hate this part of the process when you're in the middle of lessons. You don't know how to apply these lessons into your life yet, but you're in the middle of understanding and learning them. I'm dealing with so much resentment and discontentment for everything because everything is built off of lies. Everything is built off of lies. Literally knowing the things I know, it's a burden because you look at everything and you see the lies in everything. It's like the gift of discernment. It sucks, bro. It fucking sucks. And everybody is so blind and oblivious. But there's no way so many people are so asleep to this many lies. They don't even care to learn. They don't even care to be aware. I don't even care if I'm right. I don't even care if I'm wrong. I just care about the truth. And so many people only care if they're right. They don't care. They are so terrified at the possibility of being wrong. They don't put themselves in situations to where that could ever possibly happen. So they stay in a state of ignorance. And people like me who are like, I don't care if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but give me evidence, give me reason. Let's talk about this. Everybody's at their own level of consciousness on their own path. I just need to accept that mine looks different and that I'm not going to be alone in this forever, because I have an amazing sister and my best friend Gray who are willing to always listen to me. I'm just expelling all the negativity I'm feeling because I'm leaving my old life behind. I'm leaving an entire part of myself behind because I know I need to in order to grow. You have to close doors in order for others to open. There's just so much going through my mind. I'm processing so much. I'm learning so much. And it just keeps going back to that resentment that nobody else does it but me. Not nobody. That's my BPD all or nothing thinking, where I just use generalized statements. Everybody, nobody. I feel misunderstood by a couple people. A couple people around me don't educate themselves, so it feels as if the entire world is like this. The entire world is ignorant. The entire world doesn't care about learning. But no, it's just the people I'm surrounded by right now. I'm just expressing my feelings right now. I know these aren't very rational. I just feel like once I leave, it's going to be so different. I'm not going to be surrounded by the energy I'm surrounded by. I'm going to be able to breathe and know I'm gone. I've left. It doesn't matter their perceptions of me. It doesn't matter their opinions of me. Regardless of what I'm assuming, regardless of what they actually are, I don't know what they're thinking because they don't communicate with me. There's so many perspectives to see, and none of the perspectives are wrong. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna work out the way it's meant to. It doesn't matter what people tell me because I know that other people's words does not mean definitive truth. It just means it's another perspective to take into account, to consider, and then process. I have been so conflicted with my thoughts on my resentment for Sarah and ending our friendship. I don't want to hurt her, but I also think it's the best for both of us because I have vastly different beliefs. She cannot accept different beliefs. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I knew deep down to my core, this is what was best for myself. But I doubted myself. I got insecure. I got anxious because what if my perception is wrong? What if I don't see her for what she actually is? Maybe I'm the one with the warped perception. No! Oh my God! I was in the car, right? And her response to my letter was just actually comical. I read it and I skimmed it first. I hadn't even read the full thing. I was literally like, this can't be real. Like, this can't be something that someone actually wrote and sent and thought, oh wow, that ate. Oh, that ate. But I got so angry after seeing Sarah's message and reading it, and I was like, the immaturity, the unself-awareness, the lack of awareness in general. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I'm actually appalled. But then I was like, it's not my problem anymore. It's not my problem anymore. How freeing is that? I'm not in that state anymore. I'm not in that house anymore. I'm not in that friendship anymore. I'm out. I have been so doubtful towards myself. I have been reverting in my behaviors because I have been so scared that this is not the right decision. I'm the one who needs to work on things, which I do. I need to work on things, but I'm not the problem. I no longer have to deal with the problem. Oh my God, it's over. Thank fucking God. Thank fucking God I trusted myself. And the thing is, her response is just she gaslit me in her response. Why wouldn't you tell me that you thought I recorded you? What the fuck? What the fuck you... I called her out in that moment. I told her in that moment when I heard the recording button, did you just try to record me? And she was like, no, like, no, it's just been glitching. No, seriously, Sarah, it's okay. Like, were you just trying to record? I don't mind. It's just, please be honest with me. No, I wasn't, Stephanie. Like, it's been glitching recently. Okay, and then we carried on with that conversation. And then say, you should have said something. Maybe you should have told me something. She gave me so much clarity. I have felt so guilty, so conflicted, but now I don't have to. I can grow as much as I fucking want to without having to be scared of who I'm leaving behind. I can do whatever I want because I'm fucking free. The people who I know love me and care about me and know me for who my soul is, their opinion matters to me. They're the people I'm gonna give my energy to. But I dodged a fucking bullet, bro. I am just so angry because I loved her and I love her so fucking much, but she is nothing like the person I thought she was. I had this created version of her in my head, this idealized version of her in my head because I don't even have memories of her. I don't have my childhood memories. Do you know how hard it is to have childhood friends that you don't have memories to back up your relationship with? So as I've been getting to know her the past few years within the memory I'm able to actually retain, I've been like, this is not who I thought she was. She is always in drama. She's always shit talking people behind their backs. She is always making jokes at the expense of other people and thinking it's funny. That was not how I expected her to respond, but I am so thankful it was how she responded, because that gave me more clarity than I could have ever imagined, more understanding, more solidification in my decision than I could have ever fucking wished for or prayed for or manifested. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for being so absorbed in your relationship that you forget other people in your life exist. Because now I actually get to be who I want to be and believe in what I want to fucking believe. I am so thankful for trusting myself and making this decision, because I feel like a butterfly that can fly and my wings aren't being tied back by love. I feel like I'm not being restricted by the love that I have for people, and I just don't want to leave them. I don't want to leave them behind. No, fuck you! Fuck you, you I really needed that, honestly. Sometimes you have to let the demons out. I had to do a little exorcism on myself real quick. Call me a clown. I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm someone who wants to admit my faults, and I'm someone who wants to admit when I've done something wrong or whenever I've hurt someone. And I'm so confused. She's telling me that she removed herself from a situation where I wasn't respecting her, but like, does she think that whenever someone has different beliefs than her, that's disrespect? What are the excuses from before I read the Bible? What was it about me that wasn't likable? Before I tried to be honest, I tried to communicate, I tried everything to make our friendship work. And now she's telling me that I can't be putting the blame on her because it's my fault, because I'm disrespectful. It's like her identity is her beliefs, and she can't see past that. I haven't shared the same beliefs our entire life. It's not disrespectful for someone to not believe in the same things you believe in. And again, I understand my videos. My passion is to deconstruct religion. That's another reason. Again, I know our friendship is meant to end for a reason. I'm processing, I'm accepting, whatever, but I'm so confused. This has been happening for months for me, like a year for me. I've tried to talk to her for over a year, and she's telling me that she feels this way because I don't respect her. This has been happening way before I read the Bible. I've cried to her, I've begged her to talk to me and communicate with me, and she wouldn't, and now I'm being told I'm the problem. I want to genuinely know if I need to fix something about my behavior, but I don't know what to believe. Like, she told me that she doesn't know how to be best friends with someone who doesn't like her fiance and stuff, but I've tried so hard. Like, I've tried to talk to him. I've asked him, hey Zach, let's try to talk, and he doesn't. Like, I can't get rid of this tight feeling in my chest. I have so much confusion and anger. It just makes me feel like all those years of friendship, like, was it really just a shallow connection and I idealized her in my head and I made it so much more than what it actually was? I'm just struggling to understand. I know I've tried to communicate, I've tried to get to know her fiance, but I don't let him make fun of disabled people. I don't let him say certain things that aren't acceptable. It's almost like Zach doesn't care about getting to know me and being my friend, but now they're pushing that back on me, being like, well, you don't even know him and you don't even like him, when I've tried, because she's my best friend, or she was supposed to be my best friend. So I put the effort I could to try, because I was the maid of honor too. I wanted to try to get to know him, so my perceptions were warped and I didn't have just biases. So I asked him to talk and they didn't put the effort. So in my head, logically, it doesn't make sense for her to be telling me that I can't just shift the blame onto her. And I don't understand why I was so easy for her to discard. It was like I was trying so hard to make this decision. You know, I knew it was best for myself because I got the right vibes. I clearly got the right vibes. My intuition was right. I don't mind talking about her beliefs. I have supported her in her beliefs our entire life. And just to see that effort is not reciprocated in any way. I'm happy the friendship's over. That's the thing. I have a lot of feelings inside of me right now, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm so confused, and I don't know what to think. I really thought she loved me. Like, I thought that we had a genuine connection and a genuine friendship, but it was just shallow.
shallow this entire time? The only reason he doesn't like me is because I don't let him do stupid shit and get away with it the way she does. They only think about how it affects them, what they think is funny, but they don't care about how things affect other people. And they're like, what would Jesus do? Yeah, what would Jesus do? Not talk about people behind their backs and just judge people. Like, oh god, that actually kind of scared me for a second, because if my battery dies, like, that's my last straw right now, guys. Like, I cannot handle anything else. I need to feel this way, because feeling this is the way I'm gonna be able to get over it and be able to process it. She has her own feelings. Those are totally valid, completely valid, especially because, again, I am completely against her religion and just religion in general. I want us to start seeking the true nature of our universe, not just what we're always fed. So I understand. I just have resentment for the fact that she didn't care to get to know me. She didn't care to ask me questions. Seems like she doesn't love me enough to actually put in the effort to get to know me. It's always been shallow. She's the friend that tells you what you want to hear. She's the friend that tells you anything to just get the conversation to end. And I've always known these things, but I just loved her so much. I did not want to lose her. But now it's actually for the best. I feel like my feelings are valid. I think I have every right to be upset and to be confused, because she's telling me things that don't correlate with reality. And I'm like, what do I believe? Like, I want to validate your feelings, but your feelings aren't always facts, but in their brain, feelings are facts, and feelings should be on top of everything else. I think I just needed to cry, because I was sitting and watching a movie with Becca and my dad, and they're probably so confused. But the tightness wouldn't go away, and I was so overwhelmed. I just feel like I'm stuck in a freeze state. I feel like I'm just under stress so often, and right now I'm going through so many different changes and so many different things that I'm so overwhelmed physiologically. That message was just so whack, and it was just full of so many different narratives that she must have in her head that she considers reality, and I'm just reading that, and I'm like, you don't know anything about this situation. You don't know anything about what I actually meant in that letter. I kind of knew this was the kind of person she is. She's always been in drama with school, but I thought I was an exception. I thought that, oh, not me though. She won't talk about me behind my back, but I'm not an exception. I thought I was special. I thought she wouldn't just dismiss me for her boyfriend. Like, who dismisses a 20-year friendship for a man? That's a joke. Obviously, do your thing, girl. I want a boyfriend. I want a fiance too. But who dismisses a 20-year-old friendship with someone who considers you their sister, who would do anything for you, who would stay with you while you're having one of the worst nights of your life, while your boyfriend's asking me, when is she gonna be done? When is she gonna be done? Is this gonna be done soon? Is she gonna be done soon? Like, oh my god, that's who she chose? Oh, this is just resentment. She's allowed to choose who she wants to choose. She's allowed to spend her life with whoever she wants to spend her life with. I'm just so mad that I would have done anything for this girl. Anything! I have to go back inside and explain to Dad and Becca why I'm like sobbing. Becca actually has a degree in grief counseling though, so sometimes I feel like Becca and Dad are just performative with me. Like, I feel like nobody actually loves me and that they just tolerate me. All of this happening with Sarah just makes me think about how many people are just performative with me, really. How many people don't like me because of my beliefs? How many people think that I'm a hateful and horrible person because I don't agree with the homicidal God? I get so scared that Becca doesn't actually want anything to do with me, and that she just has to deal with me out of obligation because she married my dad. And I feel like these are just irrational thoughts. I want people to love me unconditionally. Like, why can't people accept me for who I am? I'm not like everyone. Like, I'm not like all of you. I'm so sorry. I can't be Christian like you guys all are, but I can't do that. That's not me. I can't fit into a religion. Jesus would accept me. Jesus would love me regardless. He wouldn't hate me and not want to be friends with me. Like, Becca was right. I have grieving to do. I was like, no, I've already grieved the past few months. I've already been grieving for months and months and months now that our relationship is over and that she doesn't care about me anymore. But no. Do you see this? Do you see this? Oh my god. I have so many emotions. It was just shallow. The second I'm not who she wants me to be, I get discarded and I'm not accepted. You really love someone and you think that they'll give you back what you give them. But no, the second you stop pleasing them, the second you stop catering your personality to make them happy, to make them feel understood. I supported their beliefs my entire life. And I understand that they feel a certain way about my videos, which again is completely valid. Completely valid. I completely understand why she feels resentment towards that, which is why I mentioned that in the letter. I know why she has resentment. I completely understand it. It's completely valid. But be an adult. Communicate with me, talk with me, don't bombard me, actually conversate with me and accept my beliefs so that way we can come together and understand each other, and that way you can even help me understand more. I can try to be more compassionate for religious people because I've been slipping way too much into logic. Okay, I'm gonna go back inside now because it's been 25 minutes. Oh my god, it's been 25 minutes. That's crazy. Thank you for listening to me sob relentlessly because I thought someone loved me more than they actually did, because clearly they don't know what unconditional love and acceptance means. Ugh, I'm just resentful. I'm just bitter. Okay. Have a good day. I love you. So it is only Monday still. The last few weeks my episodes have been getting so long because I've just been going through this huge transformative change in my life. I feel like I'm expelling everything that doesn't serve me, which comes with a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of resentment that's coming up. I have to bring all these emotions up. I have to feel all these things and get rid of them so that way I can go into my new life much lighter, much happier. I've been trying to be patient and I've been trying to allow myself to feel my emotions. So I've been doing a lot of crying videos because this is me expressing my emotions. This breakup was needed, I think, for both parties. I've been needing this breakup for about a year now, and she's been needing this breakup since I started reading the Bible, or maybe before then. I don't know. She hasn't communicated with me. I think whenever you really let your emotions out and you truly accept how you feel and you don't try to hide how you feel, don't try to mask it with different feelings. Whenever I just get all of the resentment out, I put it all out on the table, I really am able to look at it and see it for what it is. I don't think I've made her happy for a very long time, and she has not done the same for me. I think I'm really just in a stage of acceptance right now. I can't let other people's opinions and perspectives and perceptions of me, I can't let that get in the way of my healing. I cannot let other people's energy, other people's behaviors affect mine, because I've been doing so well. I've been trying to be a lot more compassionate to myself, a lot less judgmental within myself, a lot less critical, really. Give myself the attention I need, and anytime I feel these feelings in my body, pay attention to them, feel them. I have the urge to do substance, I want to smoke. Today, all I wanted to do was smoke, but I allowed myself to feel uncomfortable. I allowed myself to sit in it, and I cried a lot, and I felt uncomfortable a lot. But I think just acknowledging these feelings and not dismissing them really does help a lot. Shocker. I got so confused because of the message, and I started to take her word as factual, and I just had to remind myself that I validate myself and I validate my intentions. Neither of us are going to perceive it the same way. Neither of us, we're probably both the villains in each other's stories. I'm the best friend who got called by the devil and started talking shit about her God and just disrespecting her. I'm thankful that I trusted myself. I am thankful that I chose myself, because at the end of the day, Sarah chose who she wanted to choose, and I love her for that. I want her to do that for herself. I want her to be happy. And if that's who makes her happy, if I can't provide that, I should not be in her life. If someone cannot provide you what you need, what you want, then why are they there, So I'm happy that she has someone that can provide that happiness for her. I can provide that for myself now, which is something I've never really been able to have. I've never loved myself. I've never appreciated myself. I've never supported myself. I've always just suppressed myself and denied myself in order to make other people happy. And I'm in a transition of my life right now where I'm no longer doing that. So I'm disappointing a bunch of people who have only ever known the version of myself that made them happy, that made them feel understood, experienced the version of me that was curated to make them like me, to make them validate me, to make them want to love me, because you have to fight for people's loves, because if you're not who they want you to be, they don't fucking whatever. Anyways, I'm just really happy, and I'm really, really thankful. I live in a state of gratitude. I cannot not be thankful for the things I have anymore. I'm just so thankful for the opportunities I have. I am so thankful for the lessons I'm learning, regardless of the people I have to lose in order to learn those lessons. Again, did we think that these challenges were going to be easy? Did we think that us growing and becoming bigger and better people was just going to be a walk in the park? No, you have to lose people that don't serve you. You have to lose yourself to find who you truly are. There are just so many steps to just becoming your own person and becoming a spiritual person and becoming who you are in your soul, reconnecting with your higher self and going on your own path,
following the synchronicities in the world, following the frequencies, raising your vibration, and just helping others. I am always giving out compliments. I'm always telling people how loved they are. I'm always telling people how worthy they are. I spend my time on social media trying to lift people up. I understand some people don't agree with my beliefs, so they identify that as me being a hateful person, but that's none of my business. Like, again, why do I put so much validity on those people's thoughts and opinions that I'm also just assuming, when at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter? I know my intentions. I know what I'm doing. I know the amount of people I've helped. At the end of the day, I know who I am. I know my intentions. I know I'm not a perfect person. I'm going to make hella mistakes. I have hella flaws, but I know that I'm also someone who actively works on these things, actively tries to have awareness, actively is searching for criticism so that way I can be aware of things. I pride myself in that. I'm very proud of myself. I love myself for that characteristic. I feel like now that I'm going to be in a much, much, much better environment where I am truly unconditionally loved, truly unconditionally accepted, I'm just going to be able to grow into a version of myself I never would have thought would have been possible. I would have never been able to imagine the person that I'm becoming because I lived in hell for many years. I lived in a state of hell on earth, because whenever you go through years, a decade and more of abuse and undiagnosed autism and ADHD and then bipolar disorder, I have gone through so much. I am such a resilient person. I am so strong. I am sitting here in front of you after all of the years of pain and turmoil, and I made the decision and I put in the work to choose not to live in that anymore, to choose to do the hard shit, to choose to feel the pain, choose to process it, choose to be aware. I didn't choose to be ignorant, and I didn't choose the easy path. I chose the strong one. I chose the resilient one, and I am so eternally proud of myself for that. And I know my higher self and the universe and God and source, I know they're proud of me too, or everything. It's not a matter of there, because that's a human concept of pronouns and stuff, but it's the way we're able to conceptualize it. So whenever I say things like that, that's what I mean. I know who I am, and I cannot let external opinions that I know are false, that I know are perceptions, it's not facts. It's a valid perception, it's a valid opinion for her to have, because the person I am in her reality is probably teaching her lessons and things she needs to go through. So we all are going through all of these experiences for a reason. I can't control people's perceptions, but I can control my actions, my intentions. Anyways, I really do need to shut the fuck up.
I've been thinking a lot today, and I've been thinking about the fact that we both have completely different perspectives. We both have our completely valid reasons for why we feel the way we feel, and I feel like that's been giving me even more peace, that it's not just about me, it's not just about my perspective, obviously. Oh my god, it's not just about me. I just have to remind myself that she had her reasons to pull away. She didn't want to hang out with me, and I kind of have to accept that. I can't just sit here wondering what I did. Why does she no longer have interest in who I was as a friend? Why this, why that? Like, I could ask why for these things all day, every day, but that's only going to bring me more pain. I will never have the answers to those questions, nor do I want them. I feel like just finding peace in the realization that this needed to happen regardless. Here, hold on. It goes back to the whole duality argument. I made a whole video about polarity, even though I wish I would have used the word duality more than I would have polarity, because I feel like my point was more about duality and polarity than just polarity. But anyways, so just imagine this is a coin, okay? Heads, tails, you get the gist. Sarah's perspective, my perspective, but at the end of the day, the only thing I should really focus on is that this friendship needed to end, that this was over for both of us. This was something that we both have been feeling for a while. But last week I kept thinking about if this was the right decision. Oh, it is the right decision. I've just been ruminating in my head, figuring everything out, wondering all these things. Is this how she feels too? I just wish she would communicate with me. Why can't she communicate with me? But I just have to remember, we both have our reasons, we both have our perspectives, and they're both just as valid, because at the end of the day, it's not about my perspective or her perspective, it's about the common truth that lies between both of our perspectives. I'm about to start living my life in a way I've never really had the ability to do, in a way that I've always wanted to, but never thought was going to be possible. But I'm making it possible because we create our reality. We choose how to live our lives. We choose our intentions. We choose our actions. We choose how to perceive things. So I've been trying to be more intentional. This was like 2 weeks ago in episodes. I was talking about how during the solar eclipse, this is my time that I want to start being more intentional, start living more, start transforming into a person that I'm proud of, become a version of myself that I can confidently be like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for. I have a lot of judgment to work on within myself. I have to focus on the internal world, because I feel like I've been putting so much energy into the external world and all the problems in the external world that I can control my internal world. I can control myself, and I need to focus on that a lot more. But yeah, I'm just thankful for my understanding. I'm thankful for my healing. I'm thankful I initiated it, because again, no communication, it probably would have just been left in the air. Like, do they not see how immature that is? That's, ugh.
I cannot believe I allowed myself to gaslight myself for even a day. I think finding acceptance in the fact that it was always a shallow relationship, that it wasn't what I thought it was. I can't question her motives. I can't question her intentions because she's the only one who knows. I even have screenshots of me reaching out to Zach. And I'm telling you, this has been happening for over a year. I have been trying to communicate with both of them, mostly Sarah, obviously, but both of them for over a year. I have tried to connect with Zach. I have tried to be patient. I have tried to get to know him. He has not put in the effort. He did not want to get to know me. I've tried multiple other times verbally to try to talk to him and get to know him. It was always a wall. I'm not going to allow them to rewrite history, to rewrite what actually happened, to validate their own narratives that they have about me. I don't think Zach liked me because I always called him out on his shit. I didn't allow him to make fun of disabled people. I didn't allow him to joke about whatever he wanted to joke about because I stand up for what I believe in. I have a voice and I like to use it. Sarah just lets it slide. She laughs. She validates that behavior, but I value myself and I respect myself. I know the work I've put in. I know my intentions. I know what I have tried to do to make this work, and they didn't put that same effort. I am not going to gaslight myself and ridicule myself and question myself when I know I didn't start reading the Bible until January. I'm not going to let them convince me that my beliefs are the reason this happened because they didn't really truly know my beliefs until this year. I've been gaslit my entire fucking life because manipulative people, they can't see outside of their own life bubble and how their actions affect other people. They only see their perspective. That is just so shallow and immature. It's not my problem anymore. It's not my problem anymore. Why would I want someone like that in my life anyways? Again, I dodged a bullet. Someone who doesn't appreciate me and all of the work I've put into our friendship, all the work I did to get to know your fiance despite my own discontentment towards his behavior. That's crazy. I'm gonna end it off talking about this because I'm watching my own video right now. I'm editing my episode from last week, but right now I'm editing the part where I'm talking about how I hope people don't take my lack of communication personally. And watching this video, I'm like, wow, maybe she just couldn't communicate with people and I took that personally. I think where I see my point and my feelings is that I was within her awareness. In this video, I talk about how I can't communicate with people outside of my awareness. If you're not within my awareness, if I can't see you, I kind of just forget people exist. And I think what I struggle with is with Sarah. I lived with her. That's like the biggest hitter with this. I didn't give this letter to Sheree or Riley because I got to see them every so often. We got to hang out. We got to connect. I wasn't sitting there begging Sarah to spend every given moment with me, to spend every single day with me, to spend all of her time with me. But we lived together. We were co-inhabiting. We were literally so close together. And it just felt as if she didn't want to hang out with me. She didn't want to talk to me. And my efforts and multiple efforts to try to communicate with how I was feeling, it almost just felt like she would tell me she loved me and then nothing would change, which I wrote into the letter. But I was going through my journal because I love this journal so much. And it was September 5th, 2023, whenever I had gotten really drunk. I was drinking alone in my room, and then I think Sarah had come into my room. I don't really remember. I was really, really drunk. But Sarah sat down with me and I was sobbing to her for like an hour. I was just crying to her, asking her to hang out with me, have bestie time with me. I missed her so much. She even wrote me a letter. I'm pretty sure I asked her to. I was so drunk. I was like, can you please write me a letter? Because again, I needed that reassurance. I still struggle with BPD. I never really know how people feel about me, and I've been feeling so disconnected from her for such a long time because she put no effort into our friendship. It's like she completely forgot about me and got completely absorbed in her relationship, which happens. I've been there. I've done that, you know? I wasn't a very healthy person then, but I'm working on it. But she wrote me a letter and it says, Steph, you're drunk as fuck right now, but I wanted to leave you a note. I love you and appreciate you more than you'll ever know. If you're ever doubting our friendship or think I'm mad upset with you, please don't be afraid to come talk to me. I think that just makes me resentful though, because I did that multiple times. It's almost like she encouraged me to always communicate with her, which is what I always did because she always gave me that validation and reassurance. But then whenever I would communicate with her, there was no comprehension on her end. It was like she thinks that communication is just telling someone something and just listening, when that's being a listener is not the same as being a communicator. And don't feel bad for wanting bestie time. You are my soul sister and future auntie to my kids. You are loved and appreciated more than you think you are. You are beautiful, strong, and kind-hearted. You want the best for everyone, and that makes you beautiful. I love you more than you'll ever know. I appreciate more than anything. You are going to be so freaking successful in life, and you are going to help so many people. You are going and already doing amazing. Never doubt yourself. You are such a beautiful, strong woman, and never let anyone tell you otherwise. I love you. Sarah, BFFR. That just makes me sad because people can say a bunch of words, but they don't show it in actions, you know? And I think that's the hardest part with this, is just learning the lesson that love isn't enough. Someone could love you a lot. And this goes both sides again, completely valid on both sides. I could have communicated more. That's literally what I was about to say. No, I communicated enough, but I could have been more understanding. I could have taken it less personal. I could have just understood that we're going on our own courses. She wants to focus on her relationship and I need to focus on my relationship with myself. Everything works out the way it's meant to. It's just like a slap in the face because I don't know what to think. I don't know what reality is. What is objective reality outside of my own biases and perceptions? What does she actually feel? What are her thoughts? How is she perceiving the situation? I have put in effort. I have tried. I really, truly have tried. Nothing has come out of my efforts. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the best friend that wouldn't stop harassing her or telling her bad things about her fiance. I was asking reasonable questions. I asked her questions like, what do you get out of this relationship other than just love? What do you gain? What is it about him? Help me get to know him. And it's like these questions were taken as an attack rather than just constructive questions. But to someone like them, constructive questions are actually just attacks. So I have to understand that as well. I have to hold understanding that they can't get past their own cognitive dissonance or their own cognitive biases, because anything that goes against what they currently believe or feel is an attack, or is not the truth, or is rude, or offensive. I thought that being a true friend meant being honest and asking genuine questions and helping someone think through decisions and giving them a second opinion and showing them things they might not be able to see themselves. But maybe I pushed too hard. Maybe I asked too many questions. Maybe I cared too much because again, I had to drill into my head. It's not my circus, it's not my monkeys, because I can't control people. It's like I could stare at this letter all day, every day. It's just a bunch of shallow words. People think that their words are louder than their actions, but their actions are actually a lot louder than their words. I want to surround myself with people whose actions speak louder than their words, because I struggle with that too. Again, anything I say about her, anybody else, neurotypicals, the world, society, it all applies to me too. I don't get offended by the truth. I don't get offended by criticism because I choose to grow. I want to grow. I want to be criticized in a constructive way, but I want people to tell me the truth because my feelings are not my priority. My feelings are meant to be felt. They're not meant to be protected. What's my priority is my growth, is my awareness, is my compassion, all the things I need to work on, the things that I want to grow in. I just wish that other people were like that. I wish other people were aware. I wish other people would understand, but that's just not the reality. I'm very thankful for all the years that I was able to be her friend. She taught me a lot of lessons. She taught me a lot about what typical friend groups look like and how to stay away from them. It's just looking back at our past now, it just now looks so shallow. There was love. The love wasn't shallow. It was a very deep connection, or at least it was for me, but the relationship always seemed high school. Seemed very high school. And some people don't get out of high school. They peak in high school, so they mentally stay in high school forever because that's when they got the most attention. That's what they always talk about with the cool kids. They always peak in high school, and then after that, what do they do with their lives? Because their entire identity was wrapped around their popularity, the attention that they got. I'm really thankful that this episode actually got dedicated to this entire situation because it's really big. It's a really big thing for me to be going through. I went through all the stages of grief, basically. I went through anger, confusion, bargaining. But after this, I'm going to be able to truly just move on. After this video, I get to move on with everything else I want to talk about. I just like these video diaries that I have because they're just for me. If people choose to watch them, that's amazing because I'm a very authentic person. I don't have anything to hide. I don't hide from my actions. I don't hide from my intentions. If I make a mistake, I'll own up to it. People hide from their actions. They hide from the truth. They think they can keep it hidden when they don't understand the fundamental law of nature is that the truth can never be hidden. It will always come back. It will always boomerang, and it can be suppressed, but it cannot be destroyed. It cannot be hidden because the truth is scary in an ignorant world. I don't think people understand what ignorance is, so I'm going to go ahead and go on a little dive about what ignorance is. Ignorance is ignoring information for your own bliss. Ignorance, ignoringness. You are ignoring things that you don't want to be aware of, and a lot of people don't realize the amount that they are unaware of, that they purposely choose to be unaware of. Most people, they just ignore things they don't want to come to terms with. Let's use me for example. Let's say I'm in denial of my past. I don't want to come to terms with my past. But the truth is that I went through everything I went through. So whenever I have a flashback and I'm like, no, this like, I can't think about this. I don't want to think about this. This doesn't matter. That's me denying the truth, which brings me more pain. Whenever I deny the truth of what my reality was, I bring upon that pain to myself because I'm not willing to accept it for what it is. But I have to accept that. I have to stop denying myself the pain of life. I have to feel that pain. I have to acknowledge the truth. I cannot live my life in an illusion. I cannot live my life in a lie. The lie would be me acting as if everything was okay, as if I was a completely healthy person with nothing wrong. Nothing's wrong with me, guys. Like I went through that in the past, but like it wasn't even that big of a deal. I'm moving on from it. I'm great now. That would be a representation of me living in denial, me living outside of the truth because I want to live in a blissful state, because I think that denying myself that pain will make the pain go away. But pain demands to be felt. It will not go away. So I just hope that we're moving into a better world where people are going to start being able to digest the truth, start accepting their pain, start accepting different conversations, start accepting different perspectives than what they've always been taught. Because it's really annoying being intelligent in an ignorant world where people ignore information to such a degree that you can't even conversate with them. You can't have genuine connection because they are so ignoring of certain aspects of life that are the truth. I'm not even just talking about beliefs, because I can have all my crazy beliefs, but talking about things, the concept of religion, right? The truth is that there are 5 major religions, and every single one of them cannot be the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So that is a paradox within itself. But people, they ignore this paradox, because if they were to even acknowledge this paradox, then they would have to start questioning their beliefs. If they start questioning their beliefs, they have to start questioning their identity. If they start questioning their identity, they don't know who they are. So that's why most people, they don't want to question their beliefs, because their beliefs are their identity.
What do we need to load in the car?
I'll be back. These religions, they teach such a cookie cutter version of what they want to believe that they ignore any other evidence that would discount what they have to believe. And it's just really sad, because ignorance is a sickness. It's a sickness. It is a fear. I think ignorance is kind of a state of fear almost, where you're scared of being more knowledgeable, because that means you have to take more responsibility over your life, and that means more pain, because the more awareness, the more that you are aware of, the more that you have to be conscious of. You can't just live your life and go through like a breeze and just watch the news and listen to what the news tells you. You have to do work. You have to do research. What do you mean? I don't want to do all of that stuff. That's great, but you're going to live a very ignorant life. You're going to live a very controlled life. You will be controlled and profited by other people for the rest of your life. And I just think it's so sad, because nowadays things are changing. Things are changing. That's why they think the end of the world is coming, because the end of this era is coming. We are coming to an end of the barbaric eras, where these behaviors, these things that have been sliding through the doors with no problem, these behaviors, these beliefs, these everything, they've just been accepted by society for so long, right? We are at a time now, after all of the protest, all of the work that we've been putting in the past hundreds of years, people standing up and activism, right? We are at a time where these behaviors are no longer being accepted. We are no longer sugarcoating these conversations in the way that they used to be. With religion, I'm someone who is not sugarcoating this conversation anymore. I'm not just going to listen to what you tell me and just think that you're right. Whenever you're taught how to understand something, you don't understand something. You've been filled with propaganda. You've been filled with an idea of how to perceive things. Like whenever you're a kid, right? Kids that are raised in, like, let's say gangs, right? They're taught to think that's the only way of life, right? People don't understand these basic concepts. You only know what you've been taught. You have to reach out and you have to branch out in the world. You have to learn about what else there is than what you've just been taught. Because we are in the age of information. It's the end of ignorance reigning and having control, because you can't control intelligent people. You can't control people that aren't just going to listen to what you have to say and do it. I'm so passionate about this stuff. I literally cannot have a conversation without getting to this. I think I'm going to make genuine change in the world. I think I'm genuinely going to help a lot of people. I'm going to open a lot of people's eyes. I'm going to help a lot of people learn how to love themselves, because you can love yourselves outside of fear. A lot of people are taught that fear is respect. Oh my God, that's so weird. That's so weird. I understand, it's what they've been taught. I understand. But fear is not respect. Fear is not love. Fear is a healthy emotion to feel. Yes, it's whenever you've lost control, your body feels fear, because how do I get back control? What is happening? But fear is not love. Fear does not correlate with love directly. So whenever the Bible talks about how you need to fear your God, oh my God, there was a Bible verse, and it was like, because you turned your head away from me, because you did not follow your God, I will never help you whenever you go through hard times. I will never be there for you. I will watch you suffer. And I was like, and these people were literally talking about this Bible verse as if it was like, oh my God, what a loving God. Like, yeah, we should listen to that, guys. Like, what a loving God. He's just teaching us that we need to follow him. He's showing us that we need to be his subjects. No way. Like, no way. Like, I can't even comprehend that. It is such deep-rooted brainwashing. Like, whenever I watch The 100, the best example of this is Sanctum. Of course, the people in Sanctum would not accept that their entire life was a lie, because they did not have anybody around them their entire lives showing them different perspectives of, oh, Our gods are not actually gods. What do you mean they're not gods? They're actually just people with a mind drive who have been killing us to be immortal. There were people who literally lit themselves on fire. They lit themselves on fire in glory of the primes as a show of loyalty, as a show of respect. These gods, the sanctum primes, were literally just using them to be immortal and have subjects, but they couldn't see past their own cognitive dissonance because it's all that they were taught. If you're so confident that what you think is right, why would you be so scared to question it and to truly do a deep dive of research? Unless you were scared of being proven wrong. Like, I don't understand that. When you're scared to ask a question, you're not scared of the question, you're scared of the answer. That's why I need to work on myself, so that way I can have patience and understanding and a lot of compassion for those who have been brainwashed the way that I was, and I can try to help them patiently undo a lot of what they've been taught and do it without criticism and without ridicule, because then they're not going to want to do it if I'm just ridiculing them, right? If I just call them brainwashed and ignorant, they're probably not going to want to be helped, because imagine someone's coming to save you and they're like, you're so stupid for getting captured. Literally imagine you're like a police officer and someone's been kidnapped for their entire life, and the officer comes to them being like, you're so stupid for getting kidnapped, like why didn't you just get out? That's literally what I sound like. That's so embarrassing. Like, how pathetic is that? That is disgusting, and that behavior needs to change. I will be doing a lot better about that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this week's episode here because I already have so many hours of footage to edit from last week's episode, so many hours of footage from this week's episode. I feel like I've become 3 different people in this 1 week. I feel like I am not the person I was at the start of this week's episode, and I do not have the same perceptions and the same thoughts and the same anger and resentment and stuff. But yeah, if you learned absolutely nothing from this episode, you hated this episode, there was nothing you gained from this episode at all, but you hate me even more as a person now, for one, you are completely in control of your choices and how you spend your time. So why the fuck would you spend your time watching this entire video just to be mad by the end of it? And 2, if this video did help you, I'm so happy to hear that. Please just leave this video knowing that you are sexy, you are valid, and you are so loved, and I can't wait to see you next week's episode. Bye!
Hope you like my videos. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say as a YouTuber?